Now, it's my pleasure to end my comments and move on to introduce our commencement speakers. Yes, speakers, plural. Ms. Sheena Vaidyanathan and Dr. Vijay Vaidyanathan both earned their Master in Science in Computer Science from the University at Albany in 1990. They are graduates of our program, and they'll be sharing their wisdom and insights on their careers and engineering careers with us and with you new graduates, excuse me. This will be the first time we've had two speakers at our commencement celebration. It's unique, but this was such an opportunity we couldn't resist. So I'll introduce them each. Sheena Vaidyanathan teaches computer science to middle school students and is the computer science integration specialist for the Los Altos School District in California, where she designs computer science curricula and conducts professional development for the STEM program. She's also the program director for the computer science professional development programs at the Krauss Institute for Innovation, Foothill College, where she prepares teachers to teach and instruct computer science. She's the co-founder of two successful internet startups in Silicon Valley. Sheena holds an undergraduate degree in computer science from BITS in Pilani, India, a graduate degree in computer science from here at UAlbany, a California single subject credential in math, and a certificate in studio art. Very unique. Vijay is the founder and CEO for the Optimal Asset Management, an SEC-registered investment advisor services company. He has a doctorate in finance and a master's in risk and asset management from EDHEC Business School in France. He has an MS in computer science from here, University at Albany, and an MS in science from BITS in Pilani, India, and is an alumnus of IMD Lausanne, Switzerland. Previously, Vijay was president of EDHC Risk Indices and Benchmarks in North America, where his research interests included smart beta and the role of factors and risk premia in equity markets. He holds several patents in financial microtransactions and digital markets. Our speakers today are both highly accomplished individuals and intellectuals in a wide range of talents, and a love for the university, education, and I should say students. So, I'm ready to hear what they have to say. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vijay and Sheena.
How are we going to do this?
Stay.
All right.
Stay. Thank you, Associate Dean Maulik, and thank you to everyone at the College of Engineering and Applied Sciences for giving us the opportunity to be here. First, to the class of 2019, you guys made it. Congratulations. You have worked hard to get here. Enjoy this milestone, celebrate. And today, please, let mom take as many pictures as she wants, or send her as many as she likes. I'm a mom, I can say that. Well, you graduates already know this, but I want to tell your families and your friends just how elite the University at Albany is, so they can appreciate your achievement today. Out of 4,324 institutions of higher education across the United States, just 43 non-medical schools, that is just 1%, classified at the highest level of Research 1. And the University at Albany is one of them. So while you're walking around campus this weekend, take a look around. This is what the top 1% looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the graduating class from the College of Engineering and Applied Sciences with majors in computer science and computer engineering. So look around this room. This is what the top 1% of the top 1% looks like.
Sorry, I need my glasses here. All right, so as your commencement speakers, tradition demands that we deliver words of wisdom. But what could we possibly say that you don't already know? So we Googled it. And that's when we discovered that the internet contains thousands of commencement speeches of all kinds of, all shapes and sizes. And some of these things go back to the 1700s. It's an entire subgenre of literature that I discovered. But I did find one fascinating study by the folks over at Wired magazine. And here's what they did. They constructed a data set of 63 different commencement speeches, and then they ran some sort of analysis on it. And they extracted what they called the top 24 commencement speech cliches. Now, I don't like the word commencement speech cliche. That sounds bad. These are, in my opinion, the basic elements that form the basis for all commencement speeches. So, I have been able to construct a commencement speech that hits every single one of those 24 basic elements. And I have been able to do it so that it comes in at under 30 seconds. So this is both comprehensive and concise. So here goes. This is an awesome honor. I'm humbled. Here's the secret as you embark on the next phase of your life journey, since this is the first day of the rest of your life. Here are 3 pieces of advice. Don't be afraid of failure. Be true to yourself and be the change you want to see in this world. This is only just the beginning, so follow your passions and trust your choices. Never stop learning. Do good. Live your life. You have an enormous opportunity. Seize it. This I know to be true. Like the generations that came before you, the future is yours to shape. So get out of your comfort zone and make a difference. Pay it forward. Godspeed and good luck.
Although there is sound advice in there, I don't think Dean Boyer would have liked us to give just a 30-second speech. Although I think some of you might like this. So to add to this advice, we have 3 wishes for you. And these are based on stories from our lives. So our relationship with Albany began almost exactly 30 years ago. A professor in the Department of Computer Science had a small research project. And he said he had enough funds for 1 student for the summer, but if we wanted, we both could do it, and we could split the amount. We were young, we had just recently moved to the United States, and we happily accepted. That money helped us make it through the summer of 1989, and it was our start of our stay in Albany. And today, here we are again, sharing what is usually a 1-person job. I'm not really sure what that says of us. But what it does illustrate is that like many immigrants to the United States, we got a start thanks to someone seeing something in us that maybe even we didn't see in ourselves, and someone taking a chance on us. Albany became our community, and this is where we made our new friends. Albany is also a place where we found out about something called black ice. Our Toyota, don't have it back in India. Our Toyota Tercel hit a patch of ice right here on Washington Avenue and flipped over. Vijay and I found ourselves hanging upside down by our seatbelts, looking at snow and dirt through a shattered windshield. And within minutes, we had a fire engine, an ambulance, a police car. They were there to help us out. They didn't ask us for our papers or who we were. They just helped us out. And that's when we kind of understood that this is a country where every life matters, even ours. And that was the day we decided that this is where we want to make our lives and one day raise our kids. Perhaps the most precious gift for you graduates from your years here are the friendships you have built and the community that you have enjoyed here. But when you graduate today, you're going to go on to new places, and you will have to build another community, maybe in your place of work, your new town, or maybe even a new country. Building relationships comes much easier when you're younger, but it gets a lot harder as you get older. You will have to make the effort. But if you do that, you will build a community like the one you have enjoyed here, and your lives will be infinitely richer. And with that brings me my very first wish for you. I wish that you get very good at building your communities of support and your own ecosystems of support and validation. We had to rebuild that community of support when we moved from Albany to Silicon Valley. And while we were there, a few years later, we were juggling 2 jobs, we had a 2.5-year-old, and I was pregnant with our second child when I got an unpleasant surprise. The company I was working for was shutting down. I was going to lose my job. This is not what I wanted. I was not in a position to look for new jobs. I don't know about you, but have you ever tried to interview when you're 6 months pregnant? I remember my first thoughts. What would I even wear? Do I have to go shopping to buy new interview clothes that fit me? My company was getting rid of everything as part of the shutdown, and they offered to sell me my Unix Sun workstation for $100. Back then, that was a cool machine, and that was a good deal. So I bought the machine. It was my perfect jump-off point, a time to experiment and launch my very own startup, and that's what I did. When life gives you unexpected surprises, when things are changing and everything is already unpleasant and uncomfortable, it's the perfect time to take risks and do crazy stuff because you're already shaken up. There's a lot less to lose. So that brings me to the second wish I have for you, that you get really good at bouncing back when bad things happen. A good word for that is resilience. So because something bad eventually happens to most of us, I wish that you will build resilience. With that $100 machine set up in our spare bedroom, I began building some of the earliest websites on the internet. This is 1995, so pretty far back. While I was juggling my job as a mom to a 3-year-old and a baby. After a few months, I found a really good co-founder. This guy, Vijay. And then together, we took this startup a little further, and I'm going to let Vijay tell you about that.
So Sheena getting laid off was sort of the best thing that happened to us because we had our own private Unix server in our guest bedroom, and I began to experiment with this exciting new programming language called Java. And we tried a couple things that went nowhere, but eventually we ended up building what became one of the first few web-based chat platforms. Now, we couldn't afford to hire programmers or customer support, so Sheena and I both stayed up nights after the kids have gone to bed, often till 3, 4 in the morning. We fixed bugs. We responded to every single customer email that came in by ourselves. And all along, we kept hoping that somehow the next deal, the next time the phone rings, will be the big one. That will make it all happen. Because we were hoping that someone would see what we thought was obvious, that this stuff is super cool, and that it can connect people in ways that that you just can't do any other way. I still remember we had a user who lived someplace in Iowa, and her husband was serving in Baghdad. And she told me that the only way that they communicated live, once a week, every week, for free, was on our chat rooms. And I thought that was just amazing. But no one else thought this was amazing. No one else. And so we just kept going because we just sort of had to. And every time we got a no from a venture capitalists, we said, well, thank you very much, you're probably right, but I'm going to see if I can find some way to make this work. Well, in our case, the story did have a happy ending. Eventually, we sold our company in exchange for stock in another company, and then it took a few more years, and the combined company went public, and it morphed into a multi-billion-dollar corporation. So, all's well that ends well. Sort of. Unfortunately, life doesn't work that way. It doesn't end when you want these stories to end. And so what happened after that was the dot-com bubble burst. The stock market crashed, and this multi-billion-dollar company became pretty much worthless. But that is not what my last story is about. My last story is about something that happened at that time. It was an afternoon not long after this dot-com crash had happened, and I got a call that, in effect, said, Vijay, your biopsy results are in, and that thing on your tongue is cancer. I will never forget that call with that doctor. I realize now that that poor guy was trying to make me feel better, and he was trying to make me feel good, and he was saying, your 5-year survival rate is extremely good, because it was caught early. Well, let me tell you, no one enjoys hearing the word 5-year survival rate, even if it is extremely good. And I was alone in my bedroom, and I sat on the edge of the bed, and I remember only one thing, and that is I had this overwhelming sense of regret. Regret that maybe it was these cigarettes that I had smoked 10 years ago or 15 years ago that gave me the cancer. Maybe I should have gone to the doctor earlier. But more than anything, I felt this regret that I hadn't been a good parent to my young kids, and that now it was too late for me to fix. And since that afternoon, I have spent a lot of time thinking about the relationship between regret and guilt, because that regret just changes to guilt like that in a second. But I want you to know, when you have a situation like this, regret is not guilt, and guilt is not regret. Regret should not scare you. It is actually a good thing to make choices that you know you might later regret. That's just called taking chances. Guilt, on the other hand, comes from making choices that you know to be wrong at the time you make the choice. I often hear people, particularly our age, say things like, I have no regrets in life. See, that suggests to me that they took no chances in life. And if true, that's really a shame, that's a pity. What I think they really mean when they say that is that they feel no guilt about the choices that they made. And that is our third wish for you, that you will find ways to live your life untainted by guilt, but unrestricted by the fear of regret. Untainted by guilt, but unrestricted by the fear of regret. The fear of regret can paralyze you, and I really hope that doesn't happen to any of you. Well, as it happens, that 5-year survival rate statistic worked in my favor. I'm still here. I'm generally in good health, although I should probably exercise more. I'm still in the startup game, and my company is helping people improve their financial health and invest with confidence. But this stuff doesn't get any easier. I still get as many no's from venture capitalists today as I got in 1995. But I'm still at it. That ecosystem she talked about of support, of validation, and that resilience, that helps me bounce back after all those no's from these venture capitalists. And every single day, I make choices. And many of these choices are choices I know might cause me some regret in the future. But I try and make damn sure that they will not cause me guilt. And that's what I want for you.
Over the years, Vijay and I have been through multiple careers, including many that might not appear to have anything to do with science and engineering, like in art and music and documentary filmmaking and much more. While Vijay now works at his fintech startup, I have been teaching computer science at the local public schools and designing curriculum so that kids can enjoy working creatively with code. And as I've been telling my students over the years, code is the closest we have to magic. With it, we can make anything. And I want to extend that message out to you because it's even more true for you. As graduates in computer science and computer engineering, you know that magic. And you hold the power to make anything. You can make $1 billion, and you can impact 1 billion lives. We hope that you will go out there and build a life free of guilt, build your own community of support, and build the resilience that you need to bounce back and take on crazy new ideas. We are excited to see what you will do with your magic powers. Go out and make a positive impact on this world. Thank you very much for having us here. I'm going to end. I have to end with a commencement speech cliche to match his, right? Good luck.
Good luck.